you chat?
Always. Hello.
I thought you were going to wait for me to say something.
We were having a standoff. We were just staring at each other.
Hello.
How's it going?
It's good. It's good. I feel like the summer is like ending. People keep posting those like back to school, first day of school things. And it's like, I wonder if that's just where we live. Because some places don't go back to school till after Labor Day.
Well, and I also think specific to us, summer is such a unique weather that we're like more
You're
in
holding
tune.
on to it for dear
life. You're more in tune with it being summer. Where like if you live in California or Florida, it's like who could tell?
Well, you're not in school, so that's like the big.
I know, but it's just like it's summer weather. You can still do the same activities. Like here, it's like all right, well,
Sweater weather.
yeah. Next up, snow.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sleet.
It's just the craziest thing. Like it feels like summer like starts and then.
In a flash.
But you hate summer, so.
I actually really loved this summer, but I think it's because I didn't work as much. I didn't have as many events.
But generally.
Yeah, it's not my favorite season. My favorite season's fall, followed by winter, followed by summer, followed by spring.
Let me do mine. Mine is summer, obviously. It's the only time you can go to a pool.
True.
I would say summer, spring.
Ugh, that's the worst season.
Nope, because it's getting warmer, winter's ending, and you know summer's around the corner.
It's rainy, like, all the time. It's not typically that sunny. It's like spurts of sunny. It's just like mud. Like when I think of spring, I think of mud.
Oh, I think of sunshine and flowers.
Oh, okay.
Summer, spring, fall, winter.
Yeah, you hate winter. I love winter. I love the holidays. I love snow. I love sweaters, sweater weather. I love coats.
You can't like be outside though. I want to be outside a little.
You can like have a fire. Everyone sits around a fire with like hot cocoa or like coffee.
You've never once offered me hot cocoa.
I actually have for sure.
No.
You don't. That's just not statistically possible. In the last decade
Not
plus,
one time last winter did you turn on your fireplace.
We did. We had
and
lots of
offer me
fires.
hot cocoa.
You never come over.
I'm over here all the time.
Yes, but not like for social things because you can't because we have to go to your house for Jack. Like we don't entertain.
And yeah, I always offer you warm beverages in the winter.
Well, it'd be pretty weird if I came to your house and said.
But when I have been here, hot cocoa not on the table.
You've never been here for fire hot cocoa time. Whoops for you. Anything interesting from your weekend?
Let's see. Oh, we had a family dinner Friday. My aunt is in town visiting for her high school reunion. We were actually talking about high school reunions because I was like, she doesn't live here anymore and you come into town for a high school reunion. And it's just the craziest thing. I can't imagine myself going to a high school reunion living here, let alone flying into another area for it.
I love the idea of a high school reunion, but like I can't get anyone else on board.
What do you mean? Your high school?
But I mean, like no one went to our 10-year given it was part of the pandemic. And I just can't imagine people are going to go to our 15 or 20.
Because you know where these people are. Like,
but that's not
wasn't that kind of the whole point of a high school reunion before social media was like, imagine going to high school in the 70s and like you had friends and you had like, you know, English class with a couple girls who you really liked, but then you
life got
graduated and you lost touch. And then 10 years later, you see them and you're like, oh my God, Shelly, Sherry.
Oh my God. Why so much alliteration in this friend group?
Because you went to high school in the 70s.
Oh.
You weren't even listening at the beginning of my story.
Yeah, I was listening. Those weren't like the first 70s names. But that is what I actually think is wrong about social media. It gives you a false sense of connective tissue. Like, yes, you know that Shelly had twins, but you don't know anything else. Shelly's life could be falling apart.
Well, I don't think Shelly's going to share that at the reunion.
She may.
At least I hope not. You get there, you're like, Shelly, how the hell are you? And she's like, glad you asked.
Totally. Like, I just think it's not real. Like, people are putting their best shit online and we're all like, oh yeah, we know what's going on with everyone. You don't.
Except there are people who put like their journaling.
Yeah.
the people who put their entire lives on social media, like the good, the bad, it's like also I feel like maybe not people in our generation, but you know, there are people who post like this morning my husband said to me, who treat like Facebook like Twitter.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, no one cares about your conversation with your husband in the morning.
No, I agree, but I just think that we're using social media as like a tool to keep in touch with people when it's really not that. It's more like people creating their brand, curating their brand and their image and posting shit that aligns with that.
I missed the social media bug. I don't know, it didn't hit me.
I wouldn't be sad without it. I use it a lot here, but sometimes I wish it never existed.
Here meaning in this life?
Yeah, this life.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I just feel like, I mean, we didn't have a high school reunion, I don't think.
I'm sure you did, but we're the same age, so it was like during COVID.
Yeah, it was during COVID, so maybe that was just not happening, but yeah. I can't imagine going to one.
Why?
Unless, like, my friends from high school were like, we're all gonna go, then I'd be like, okay, I guess, but like I'm not just gonna like go and be like, oh, Rob from gym, hey,
it's so fun. Doesn't it
why
sound fun?
No, why is that fun?
I don't know, it just sounds fun.
Well, you should probably, I feel like you should plan yours. That would be a good job for you.
I don't want to like give myself another job. You notice as an event planner, like every event you're at, even like adjacent to, you somehow become enmeshed in the planning of, and like just being a guest at something is fun.
Yeah, that's true. But what if no one's going to plan it? Then you never.
I mean, that's crazy.
I was telling your mom, actually, she was asking what I was doing this past weekend, and I was saying how my aunt was in town, and she was like, oh wow, she came in town for her high school reunion. And I was like, yeah, I know, like it's such a generational thing. I would never do that. And your mom, who originally I thought was going to be like, yeah, me neither, was like, oh, I would.
She loves her high school reunion.
She was like, haven't missed one. I was like, what?
They sound really fun. You like visit your youth. You're like hanging out with like people you haven't seen in 20 years.
I'll never forget when you and I don't know why we were up in the suburbs at some point. Like after we had graduated from college, we were living in the city. But we were up in the suburbs doing something, and your mom was like, and you were like, oh, Mom, are you home? I'm with Rachel. We're going to stop by. And she was like, I'm not. I'm at like, what was it? The VFW or something?
Oh, she was at my grandma's high school reunion.
Yeah, she took your grandma to your grandma's high school reunion.
Yeah.
And she was like, it's like 5 minutes from the house. You guys should stop by. And you were like, do you want to stop by my grandma's high school reunion? And I was like, 100% I do.
It was a rager.
That sounds like a blast. So we walked in, and your grandma's, of course, like sitting at a table talking to a couple friends. Your mom's nowhere to be found.
She
like
was on the dance floor.
She was on the dance floor tearing it up with like, you know, 2 other people. I was like, this fucking lady.
It sounds so fun. Like I would love it, but I think they're going to be a thing of the past. Sadly.
Not if people like you keep them alive.
But I think there's like also a generational thing. Like we're very like, I don't want to like paint us in a negative light, but we kind of are in the sense that we like keep to our circles. Like I feel like generations past, it was like, oh, like this acquaintance, that acquaintance, like you got closer to acquaintances, where because we have the ability to like weed people out.
But I don't need a reunion to like feel like an allegiance, I guess. Like if someone who like, let's say you had a client who went to high school with me, mm-hmm. and like I didn't really know them, but like we went to the same high school, and you were like, they're wondering about getting a master's degree or something like that, like something that I would maybe know about. Mm-hmm. Can I give her your number? I'd be like, yeah, 100%. Like you just have like
it's not
a tie to someone that you went to high school with no matter what. Like, oh, you graduated 6 years ahead of me. Who cares? Like we both went there and like understand your
It's not like
upbringing.
An allegiance. It's just like a fun social gathering. Like the guy who does our homeowners insurance, like the company that does it, it's like a family business, and they hired someone I went to high school with. And so when I called to ask a question about our homeowners insurance and he picked up, I was like, hello. Like, we honestly were not friends in high school, but and he like matched my energy. Like, he was like, oh my God, hey. Like, we were both like, high school. Like, you can do that at a reunion.
But I'm saying, like, I don't need a reunion to like act that way. Like, if I like saw someone, I'd be like, oh my God.
Hi.
I was actually just talking to my friend who does my hair about this, because she was saying how the girl before me was like checking out when I walked in, and she left and she's like, I have the craziest story about that girl. And I was like, yeah, I've never seen her before. And she's like, no, she's been coming to me, but she was like, it was so weird. We went to different high schools, like neighboring suburbs, but totally different high schools. But we both played soccer. And so I didn't know of her at all. And like, we didn't know of each other, but like we knew people who knew the same people. And apparently I found out like when I was a sophomore who was hooking up with a senior that he was dating her, like longtime boyfriend.
Okay.
So let's call this girl Jen.
Okay.
And my friend who does my hair will be
Abby.
Sure.
I just like that name.
So Abby is hooking up with
Jen's boyfriend,
not knowing that he has a girlfriend, because even though they go to high school together, he's dating a girl who goes to a totally different high school, who he knows through the soccer world as well. Boyfriend, let's call him Tom.
Sure.
So Abby and Tom are hooking up, and Tom's friends eventually are like, and they spend like every day after school together. And they're like, that Tom has a girlfriend of like a couple years, right? And she's like, Dad, no. Like, huh? And they're like, yeah, her name's Jen. She goes to this school. Like, it's crazy. And she was like, oh, well, I don't know, Jen. Like, and she says now, she's like, I was like an asshole, but I was also like,
come from you, Jen.
Yeah, I was also like, okay, Jen.
Oh my God.
And so like they had this like unspoken like feud, Abby and Jen did. They had never met except at one of the boys' soccer games. I guess Jen came, and so did Abby when they were in high school. This is like 15 years ago.
I hope this guy paid the price.
And Abby, being, the go-getter that she is, wore a shirt that said like Tom's Lady or something like that.
Oh my God, the story gets worse.
And Jen was none too pleased. But they never.
Why did no one break up with Tom?
It was just a fight over Tom. You know how girls can be.
Oh my God, Tom's probably a huge loser too.
Yeah. And so they never spoke, never saw each other. But Abby heard that this girl was like talking a ton of shit about her. Like whenever they would cross paths with whenever she would cross paths with someone who was the same group as Jen, she was like, oh yeah, she says like you're a slut, like whatever. And so then obviously they graduate from high school. She stops hooking up with Tom. I don't know what happened with Tom and Jen. They eventually also break up. And now Abby, who does hair, like 3 years ago, has a client walk in during COVID. She's wearing a mask. New client, like totally just like found her on Instagram. And it's Jen. And she was like, didn't want to acknowledge that it was Jen, because she was like, this girl literally hated me in high school. Like, why would you book with me? It's like, and she has a new name because she's married.
Oh, right.
And so does Abby, but like you see her picture because you booked with her.
Yeah.
Abby doesn't see Jen.
Yeah. So wait, was there a resolution to this?
So she was in there. Jen was there when I got there, and I was like, so what happened? And she was like, so she like kind of started to bring it up. Jen, I guess, did, who like was like, wait, where did you grow up? And so she tells her, and she's like, oh, I went to this school. And she's like, oh, I went to this school. And she's like, did you play any sports? So like Jen is like leading her to make Abby say.
Yeah.
And Abby's like, I am not fucking like bringing this up. Like, she's like, yeah, I played soccer. And she's like, oh, so did I. That's why maybe you look so familiar. And Abby was like,
Maybe.
She was like, yeah, like it's such a small world when you really think about it. Has never mentioned it again, and like has to like just swallow through this.
She keeps coming back.
Yeah, she's been coming to her for like 3 years now.
And they've never talked about it.
Never.
Well, I actually think that's better. To be honest, it's so long ago, it's weirder to talk about it.
I don't think so. I think when you first, obviously you're over it enough that you would want to book with this person.
Or maybe she's not over it and she's coming to like punish her every 8 weeks.
No, really. She said that she got like a big gift card during her mat leave from her work. Jen was telling Abby, and she was like, it's to a spa, and I was thinking it would be fun for us to go together. And Abby was like, are you trying to take me there to kill me? Like,
wait, that's weird. She wants to be like friends with her outside.
Yes, she wants to be friends with her.
Oh, she is trying to kill her.
She takes like selfies with her.
She's trying to
kill her. And
Abby's
like, do you love me or hate me?
She wants to kill her.
Really scary. But she was like,
this is a ruse.
She was like, she came in and didn't mention it. Like, she sought me out. There's plenty of people who could do your hair. It's not like she lives down the street.
Well, people do crazy things.
But I was thinking, like, when you're in high school, obviously that matters so much. But if that were me, like, let's say you gave me a recommendation for a hair person. You're like, I love her, I love her, I love her. And I was like, oh. And then I went to look her up and I was like, oh my God, this girl was in class with me and was like
the worst.
The worst. And if we had like some sort of an open feud, which there was no one like this for me in high school, but if we did, I would just go and be like, do you remember me?
I don't think I would go.
At all?
No. Like, not in like a vindictive way, just like there are so many hair people. Like, I don't need to seek out someone I have bad blood with.
That is the question. Why did you seek her out?
Right. That's where I'm like, she does want to skin her and wear her.
Yeah.
Damn.
She's like, you were stealing my boyfriend then.
And I'm going to come every 8 weeks and remind you that you're a piece of shit.
But she's like, I'm not reminded of that. I keep thinking like, you're as weird as you were then. Why are you coming to me?
It is weird that she kept dating a man or a boy, I guess, at that age that she knew was hooking up with someone else. Like,
yeah, like Abby and Tom ended things. She's like, goodbye, Tom. You're a fuckboy.
Tom.
You're a fuckboy. He, eventually broke up with Jen, but like Jen is still coming around the mountain.
That is super fucking weird. Do you want to tell everyone how you were incredibly late to the White Sox game this weekend?
Oh my God. Yeah, I'm happy to share. I wasn't incredibly late. We missed nothing. It was 0-0 when we got there.
But like, why?
It also wasn't, I'll just say, it wasn't our fault.
Traffic was bad, but you aren't affected by being late. I would be upset. You were not.
No.
We got there an hour early.
I'm affected by being late if the start time is like the start time. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like when, like in our softball league in the city,
yeah, the
game starts at 9. You have to be there by 9. Or you're going to like a musical. Yeah. The musical starts at 7:30. If you're not in your seat at 7:30, you miss the start of the musical.
I've been with you on the way to the musical though. You're not that worried till it's too late.
But like for the game starts, but like it's a long game. You're not missing like the first act of something.
Well, we left with plenty of time.
Yeah, you guys left 6 hours in advance. And then you got there and had a number of hours to sit around.
We had 1 hour, not even.
I don't want to get anywhere an hour early.
Why? It was so lovely. Like we got there 45 minutes before the game started. We ate. The lines for the food so short. Got drinks, got a second round of drinks, then sat down. What's not to love about that?
I don't want to do that. It just, you're there forever.
It didn't feel like forever because we were all hanging out.
I'm hanging out in the car with the rest of the family.
Well, all's to say, being early is better.
You're with my family in your car, and I'm with my other family in my car, and I'd rather be in my car.
But your father-in-law wanted to be in my car.
Yeah, he did. He was not happy. Not one bit.
Not a late person.
No. And
we've discussed this. Like, you married into the right family. Like, you're a late person who married into a late family. I'm an early person who
I've met my match with my sister-in-law and
you have,
mother-in-law.
and they admitted it. They were like, we are the latest of late. I told your sister-in-law, I go, start times for you or a suggestion? And she laughed.
Same for me.
Like,
but they're actually worse than me. Like when I show up to stuff and like I was supposed to pick her up to go somewhere. I was supposed to pick her up at 11. I got there at 11:10. She came out at 11:20.
And you guys are all unaffected. Like, you're all living in your land of delusion.
Yeah, I wasn't like, what are you doing? Get out here. I was like, been there, sister.
Like, how? I've met my match with my family. Like, I married into an early family. Like, I'm an early person and they're earlier.
They're earlier.
Like, we were all
They want to be there 2 hours early.
Like, remember when we were all going to brunch? We were all going to brunch for Easter. And I had made Easter baskets. And I was like, oh, this is perfect. I'm going to get there early to put out the Easter baskets at brunch, which will serve as like a cute little like welcome to Easter brunch. Rachel, I was the last person to arrive.
Oh my, I would be so annoyed.
My in-laws
Why are you
and
all
my
here?
mom were all there. I was like, hello, everyone. I'm like putting out their Easter baskets. And we were like 15 minutes early.
No, I don't want that.
But I'm saying if we Freaky Friday'd, I would actually fucking lose it. And so would you.
I don't want to be somewhere extremely early. There's something like I can't actually get myself there that early. When I have to be somewhere like at a hard stop time, like I had 2 days of work last week where I had to like had to be there right away, and I had to be there at 9, and I told myself I had to be there at 8:30. Like, I set my alarm, I got ready in the morning expecting like I have got to be there at 8:30, not even like trying to trick myself, like I'm getting there at 8:30.
And you got there at 9.
And I got there at like 8:59.
I don't get it. Like, if I told myself I had to be somewhere that
because I do have to stop for coffee.
Same. I put that into the schedule. Like, if I have to be somewhere at 8:30, I'm arriving at 8:15.
I don't know how my mother-in-law and father-in-law have like gotten places. They take different cars usually.
No, literally. I just like don't understand it. If I got to pick someone up at 11, now, like, of course, I'm not a sociopath. Like, life happens. People are late. I'm late sometimes. Like, things happen. But if I consistently needed to pick someone up at 11 and they didn't stroll out until 11:20, I'd be like, fuck you. I needed to be at home too. Like, I could have left 20 minutes later.
No.
Like, I needed those 20 minutes.
No.
No.
Because I was late also.
But that's what I'm saying. You guys have the universe has righted itself.
Yeah.
Homeostasis.
I've
has been
found
reached.
my people.
I have found my people and you have found your people. When we're going somewhere, I actually appreciate so much. You almost always are ready when I pick you up.
I try.
You almost always are ready, and I always expect to wait.
I try. I really do try. Like, because I know that if you're picking me up, you're going to be sitting in my driveway waiting and waiting. You're like, you know what, you would be really good. Your job that you maybe had in another life is serving someone with like lawsuit papers.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're just there waiting.
I'm waiting.
You are waiting outside their house, waiting outside their work. You're just driving up and you're waiting.
But isn't it nice? Like, you can count on me. Like, if you tell me to pick you up at 4, my ass is going to be there at 4.
No, but your ass will be there at 3:52, and then you'll be like, I'm here, but just in the driveway, no rush. And then it's like, Jesus fuck, you're just sitting in the driveway. I gotta get out there quick.
I don't ever text you that. I'm always like, no, I wait till 4.
I'm gonna go through my. Yes, you do. I'm here, but no rush.
Occasionally
responding to emails in the driveway.
Well, yes, because like I really am.
Why do you have to come to my driveway?
Where should I go?
Park on the street. I don't know. It's a pressure that I can't.
You can't survive.
Like, because I know that you hate when people are late. You and your husband are like the late
police.
You're like, well, are you going to be out on time? It's like, and if I'm not, what?
We will be late. If not, we will be late.
Oh my God, we're going to a dinner, the 4 of us. We don't have a reservation.
No, I don't care.
Yes, you do. You guys are like, we're going to pick you up at 7:30 for dinner. And we're like, okay, sounds good. You roll up 7:30. We come out at 7:34, and the vibe in the car is like, you could cut it with a knife.
No, it is
yes, you
not.
guys, you were like, what? You were like, what happened? And it's like, we're going to McDonald's.
If we are just going somewhere, the 4 of us, I will stand on this. We don't give a fuck. It's if we're going to like a dinner with other people. Like, if we're going to a dinner of 8.
No.
And not at 7:34, because we have discussed, like, we have actually contemplated before leaving later, but we're like, then our luck, you will actually be ready and be like, where the fuck are you? Anywho's, I digress.
I'm sorry. It's just like, we can't be early. That's not, and it's rude to be early. I've said it before and I'll say it again.
It is rude to be early. I agree.
And It's just as rude to be 10 minutes early as it is to be 10 minutes late.
No,
Okay, we'll have a poll.
it's not. It's rude for sure, but not just as rude, because 10 minutes early is like, I respect your time so much that I don't want to like inconvenience you by being late. 10 minutes late is like, I don't really care what's going on with you. I got here when I got here.
If you're hosting like a brunch at your house and it's called for 11 and someone rolls in here at 10:50, I'm not ready yet. It's called for 11.
Yeah, but they're not expecting me to have like a tray of champagne.
But
like,
I have to like talk to you, come on in, whatever. And I'm in the middle of doing shit. Don't come early. Come late.
we differ. Come early to my house.
Okay. Don't come early to mine.
I wouldn't. Are you ready for an icebreaker?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Okay. It's not really an icebreaker in that I'm going to give you 4 subjects for school, and I'd like you to tell me what color folder they should be. Like, did you do that when you were a kid?
Sure.
Okay. Math.
No, I didn't. I
You
have no idea
didn't?
what you're talking about, but
Really?
I'm happy to take on the challenge.
Like it's beginning of the school year. Like in the beginning of the school year, you got your school supplies. Did you not like decide what color each thing was going to be?
I had what's it called?
What?
What were those really like?
A binder?
They're not called binders. I had like, it had a bunch of different things in there. You know, it was like accordion.
That's weird. I hear you. But that's not what the rest of the world was doing.
Okay.
The rest of us were getting school supplies and then assigning things colors. So
I'm sure that's what everyone at my school was doing also. And my mom realized that whatever everyone was doing was really expensive. And she was like, we could get the same thing, but more compact and easier from Kohl's, which is where she wanted to get everything for me. And I was like, I don't want anything from Kohl's.
I'm so sorry that happened to you. Well, now I'm giving you the chance that we all had. So in the
Okay.
beginning of the school year, you would get a bunch of folders and then you would assign each of them. So I'm just curious how your brain works. So math, science, social studies, art. Okay.
Art?
This is elementary school.
Oh, okay.
Math, science, social studies, art.
You don't have English?
These are just the 4 colors, the 4 classes I'm giving you. Now I'm giving you colors, okay? Yellow, green, red, blue.
Math, science, social studies, art.
Yeah.
Red, green, yellow, blue.
Mm-hmm.
Math is red.
Interesting, okay. Mine's art is red for me.
Math is red for me, I think, because like it was like, warning, red flag, this class sucks.
I think as red's close to pink. I don't know. It just like feels like art.
So yeah, math, red, social studies, yellow.
Mine was science for yellow.
Science for me is green.
Oh, that was a toss up for me. That's math for me.
And then that leaves art for blue.
Interesting.
But if I had language arts, I would do purple.
Yeah, language arts is purple. You right.
Agree?
Yeah, it is purple.
Interesting.
Yeah, science is green or yellow every time. Every year it was green or yellow. It was because I don't like science, and those are my least favorite colors.
Science for me is green because it's like,
Earth.
you know, nature-y.
Yeah. Yeah. I just saw a mom in like a group that I'm in was talking about how she was buying stuff for her kids for back to school, and they were like fighting. Her kids were fighting over which folders they could have for like each class. And I was like, wow, only child probs. All the school supplies are mine.
Like did you have folders in college?
Yeah.
I don't remember having folders.
Actually, no, I didn't have folders. I think I probably did have an occasional folder, but I took like all my notes on my computer. So I didn't have as much printout stuff.
Like everything was like emailed to you.
Yeah, you're right.
I didn't have folders.
Yeah, I don't think I had folders either. I definitely had them in high school though.
I'm telling you, I had one of those binders that had a lot of different pockets on the inside, and it was pretty fun.
But you didn't get to pick colors.
Yeah, it wasn't color coordinated. Interesting stories from the weekend. Well, we didn't talk at all about Tim Walz.
We didn't, because we just missed it.
We had just missed it.
Yeah.
He seems like a good dude.
He seems like he has like America's Dad energy.
Yes, that's what the Gen Zers are saying.
Yeah. I loved the camo hat. Did you see they're selling them now?
Yes.
Amazing move.
Love that. Everyone's saying that Trump is like your crazy uncle.
Totally.
And yeah, I didn't really know who the heck this guy was, but seems like a great pick.
I think he does kind of scratch that itch of like middle America, small town, like, which obviously is why she selected him. And he just feels very, to use what the Gen Z uses, Republican coded. Like, he's not Republican, but he's Republican coded. Like, football coach, small town, camo hat, like those sort of things that sometimes resonate as a more Republican quality. He's got them.
Agreed. And I think he said that he's very like middle America, like he likes to hunt and like all that stuff. And I think that resonates with conservative side more than it does with the liberal side, which is a good thing. Nonetheless, do I think that like it's a shoo-in either way now? No,
but it was never a shoo-in.
Well, it kind of felt like a shoo-in when Biden was there.
Yes, but you still...
It felt like like Trump was running away with the thing.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know anything. My body's DNA was changed after the Clinton-Trump election because I was so sure that he wasn't going to win that now I feel as though I know nothing.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Like the trauma was so shocking.
What's interesting, I think, this time around is that I think Trump is probably like a little pissed off that Biden dropped out. Like, I think he really had no clue.
Yeah, and I also think he's a little pissed off he picked JD Vance.
Yes, also true. But like, just that he was going so hard for Biden.
He had no idea he was going to drop out.
He had no idea. It's kind of like when like someone is like, you know, the bully at school and they like really like pick on someone hard and they have a bunch of like other small loser bullies around them who are also picking on that person. And then that person like transfers. That person is now gone.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, now what?
Yeah.
And all the little like bully fans are like,
who are we supposed to pick on now?
What should we do? Because the whole thing was just about picking on someone.
Well, I think also the trick there is he made his campaign or lack thereof so much about how he just was the better candidate over Biden. And so without Biden, it's like, but what about, are you just still a good candidate? Like, it wasn't really ever like, I'm such a great president. It was like, look at Sleepy Joe. I mean, it was a little of both. But like, now that Joe's out of the running, it's like, but how do you measure up to Kamala?
I know. And people don't even really feel like they know Kamala enough. Yeah. I mean, I'm really curious to hear. I think there's a lot of people who were like, I'm not voting in this election because I don't like Trump and I don't like Biden. And now I think a lot of people who didn't like Biden are like, okay, I'm intrigued, but I don't know anything about Kamala. It's like I was going to get the bacon turkey Bravo at Panera. And then when I got there, I realized it was sold out. And so I was like, oh, it's fine. I just won't get a sandwich. I'll just get a Diet Coke. And then they were like, but we do have the pesto Magesto. Oh, and you're like, okay, I was thinking about getting the bacon turkey Bravo. That's something really different. I don't know if I could just pivot to pesto.
But here's my whole thing. When people say they're, quote, not going to vote, it's like, do you think anyone actually cares? Like, it's
what do you mean? Yeah, you should vote.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you not voting, it's like, there's still going to be an election. Someone's still going to be president. Oh. You not voting doesn't do anything. So do some research, pick who you think is the better of the two, and vote for that one.
Yeah.
Like, not voting is not like, oh, wow, you didn't vote. It's like, you're an idiot.
But if you really are one of those people who feel like you have no option, like, I don't like either, what to do?
But someone will be president. It's if like not enough people voted and it meant like we did a re-election, fine. But not voting has zero impact on the entire system.
Does it have the same impact as doing a write-in? Pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Like, you are still going to have a new president. Whether or not you participate, no change.
Agreed. No, agreed, for sure.
It's like having a tantrum. Like,
and just the fact that, like, to not take advantage of your right to vote.
Right.
Like, there's a lot of people who
would love to vote.
Who would love to vote and can't. And not that long ago, women couldn't vote at all. And so that's
Agreed.
something to consider. But I do obviously understand people who are like, okay, like I don't really know this candidate. It's like,
it's just such a weird thing to me. Like I've heard so many people be like, well, I'm just not going to vote. Like, oh, okay, well. Cool.
I do agree. Like, do some research, pick a side, and
pick a side. Stand for something.
Yeah. When you stand for
nothing, you'll fall for anything.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. It's not that inspiring, but that's what it is.
When you stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything. Okay, I don't even get that one.
What? What do you mean? If you don't stand for anything, if you have no, like, pillar of beliefs, anyone can come along and convince you of anything, so you'll fall for anything.
Oh.
Like if you don't stand firmly rooted in the ground, you might wake up one day a part of a pyramid marketing scheme because like you're like, yes, I do want to sell LuLaRoe leggings.
Lululemon. It's not Lululemon.
No,
it's Lululemon.
LuLaRoe.
No, but what if it was Lululemon? It's like, it's Lululemon, but Lululemon.
Okay, well, you
can get it on the ground floor.
And someone who doesn't have any gusto would fall for that.
Agreed. Yeah, so agreed. Get out and vote. I do think that Tim Walz seems like a sweet, sweet sweetie.
The millennials are saying from the window to the walls.
From the window to the walls till the sweat dripped down my balls.
Exactly. Exactly.
Aw, skeet, skeet.
Skeet, skeet.
Skeet, skeet, skeet.
Motherfucker.
A
beautiful poem.
Skeet, skeet. It's like a haiku. Why didn't Kamala coin, like, you know, Kamala goes balls to the walls?
Well, one, I don't think that's like astute enough to be a political campaign. Also, she's not from the window to the walls target demographic. It's more our age group. Have you been following the It Ends With Us drama?
Okay. Did you read the book?
I did not, but now I want to.
Oh, okay. Fill me in, and then I'll fill you in on the book side of it, because I don't know that side.
Okay, so Justin Baldoni from Jane the Virgin is the one who originally got this project off the ground. So he was the driving force behind this being made.
He bought the rights from Colleen Hoover?
Correct.
Okay.
And he was directing. And then they brought on Blake Lively, Jenny Slate, et cetera, et cetera. There's a lot of buildup, a lot of press around this film. And obviously, I've never read the book, but I feel like I've seen the whole movie on TikTok. And I know that it deals with domestic violence.
Yes.
So some photos were like coming out here and there of like Blake directing Justin or Justin directing Blake, whatever. But it seemed to be all copacetic. Well, then they started doing press for the film. And it became noticed that Colleen Hoover and Blake and Jenny no longer follow Justin Baldoni on Instagram. So that was kind of the first like, what's going on? Then when they had the premiere.
Who's Jenny?
Jenny Slate plays his sister.
Oh, okay.
He plays Ryle. Then they did the press tour and they weren't taking photos with him. There were like no full cast photos, which was also weird. So people started to come up with theories. The first theory was that because it deals with domestic violence, that they were trying to like keep a distance, like keep the character intact, which is fucking nuts because like there are tons of movies about controversial topics and the cast all pose together. It's not like, oh, we can't differentiate between the character and the actor. Then it came out all allegedly that Blake really tried to take creative control of the movie and there was a lot of animosity on set and that there were actually two different cuts in the editor's room. They did like a Blake's cut and a Justin's cut, tested both of them. Blake's cut did better. It became the one that's released. So there's a theory that there's animosity there. Then that didn't really explain why Jenny Slate, like whenever someone's asked a direct question, any of them point blank about working with Justin or about making the film, they're like tripping over themselves to not specifically talk about it. So like they're twisting themselves in knots. Like someone asked Jenny Slate about what it was like working with Justin on the set, and she was like tripping over herself talking about how he had all these different jobs and she was so tired just acting, and if she was acting and directing she doesn't know how he did it, but like never expressly answered the question. So then people are like, maybe Justin isn't the like happy-go-lucky women's advocate that he appears to be. So people are like diving down rabbit holes. I don't actually know the answer. I just know that something very fucking weird is going on. And it's kind of like what happened with that Emily Blunt film. Or not Emily Blunt, Olivia Wilde film. That I actually really liked.
Don't Worry, Darling.
Yes. Like, they're letting it like get a little blown out of proportion. Whatever it is, just say it and move on. Because
then something with like Harry Styles and Chris Pine, and like someone spit on someone.
It's like you in the beginning, yeah, any press is good press, but now it's like overtaking the film itself. Like, just put it to rest. Be like, we had creative differences. Oh, and then the other thing was there's a sequel, I guess, and someone asked Justin if he would direct it, and he was like, I think Blake would be better equipped to do that. But like, not snarky, just like, I think there's better people to do that, like maybe Blake. And that was the whole showdown.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
You love Justin Baldoni, though.
So it's interesting. I do love Justin Baldoni.
What do you love him from?
I loved him from Jane the Virgin. So I don't...
Jane the Virgin?
Like, that was his main claim to fame. I don't even really follow him on Instagram anymore, I realized. I loved him when I was like down my Jane the Virgin rabbit hole, but I haven't thought about him since. But I always did think he seemed like a really nice guy. I really like Blake and Ryan. I do think there's something a little showy about them that like I could see them railroading someone. They have way more like star power. And I did always think it was weird that Ryan was like so involved with all the press of this film. Like, he's not in it, and I don't think he's a producer.
I think they were both on the press tour. Like, they were on the press circuit at the same time because of Deadpool.
Oh,
so
right.
both their movies were coming out at the same time, which made it just kind of like
easier.
And we could have them both on to promote their whatever. I don't know if he's like out promoting It Ends With Us. I thought there was some sort of a drama having to do with like the way she was promoting it, because I mean, spoiler alert, it's a story about domestic violence.
Mm-hmm.
And she's kind of promoting it as if it's like a rom-com.
Yeah.
And he seemed to be taking it in like a more serious direction.
That's definitely true. I mean, she's also promoting like her hair care at the same time.
Yeah, like she's promoting her hair care line along with a movie
about domestic
that
violence.
At its root is about domestic violence.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that was part of the, like, from people who know what it's actually about, people were kind of like, well, that's a weird take on it. Like Romeo and Juliet, like if someone's out promoting, like at the end of it, they kill themselves. And so you're like kind of talking about like a serious topic like suicide and like mental illness. And then also like, and make sure you buy my new spray tan lotion.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely weird. I do think like serious films get promoted pretty similarly to unserious films. I think the way you said she's promoting like a rom-com is totally true. She's maybe taking it in too light of a direction. Everyone's kind of like ganging up on Justin Baldoni.
I think like Blake and Ryan are like America's royal couple. So like,
yes,
anyone who doesn't get along well with them, it really seems like they are like so nice. Everyone loves them. Like, welcome to Wrexham.
Mm-hmm.
He seems like the nicest dude, like in his real life.
No, he seems super nice. I think what's hard is like there's a really unbalanced power structure there. And what I would assume at the root of this, barring like something crazy, I think this started out as Justin's project. Blake got brought on. She was way more powerful, and what
she also probably won an executive producer credit.
Exactly.
And what a lot of people don't think about is that like executive producer a lot of times just means like you put up enough money to have the film made, and you don't actually have any sort of a say in, you know, like if it's a big movie like Greatest Showman and then you see like Hugh Jackman as an executive producer, that could just mean that he just like put up the money, like he was tied to the project
and got it made.
He liked it, he helped to get it made, but he didn't have any real say over the script or the story. And so perhaps Blake was like, I'll help executive produce whatever, and then she took that to mean like, and I will have a say in.
Well, yeah, I feel like Justin was kind of like, he's very like indie. Like he directed that that movie with one of the Sprouse twins about like a terminal illness. Like he's not doing like huge. Yeah,
you were sobbing in the movie theater.
Like 6 Feet Apart or something.
Yes.
Like, I think this was his like chance at the big leagues. I think he thought, this is my project. And I think Blake, I don't know if she was mean about it or if she just was like, I know what I'm doing. I think he probably got stomped on a little and it created a little animosity.
So you're team Justin.
No, I'm team no one. Like, I think that's what's kind of crazy. People forget these are like workplaces.
It's hard to not be team Blake and Ryan just generally.
Yeah.
I know nothing about Justin. I also am team neither.
Like, it's a workplace. So think about your workplace. Like, shit goes down. People say something that pisses you off. Someone doesn't take responsibility for a project. Like, it's a workplace, and like drama happens at workplaces. It doesn't mean that anyone did anything fucked up. It doesn't mean that anyone deserves to be like punished. It just means they worked on a work project together. Maybe didn't go amazing. Probably won't work together again. I think this might have been a big swing. And like, you got to shoot for the stars.
Like, too big?
No, I'm sorry. You shoot for the stars and you land among the clouds.
This is an episode of quotes.
Yeah, that's it. I like that one. So yeah, that's the goss.
Very interesting. Yeah.
But I do want to go. Can we go see that movie?
Sure.
I want to see it. Well,
Are you going to read the book first?
Maybe. Will I stop hysterically?
No.
Oh, good.
Not like some of the other shit we've seen.
Oh, good. I don't want to.
Movies that you've cried hysterically over.
That Mahershala Ali one on Apple.
Oh.
That fucked me up.
What was that called?
I have no clue.
I was thinking more in the movie theaters, but...
Oh. That one imprinted on me, like, very sad.
Enough that you don't remember the title. Swan Song.
Swan Song.
I was thinking more movies that you cried uncontrollably in the movie theater over.
What is that? What's bringing to mind?
You can't think of any? No. I can think of a long list of them.
Oh, tell me. The Lion King is a small child, but I don't think you were going to say that one.
Still Alice.
Oh, no. Horrible.
Room.
Terrible.
You don't remember any of these?
Yeah, because I've blocked them out.
I just like, it's like you can't even hear the end of the movie because you're blubbering.
Like, that's not entertainment to me. Like, I don't need to go somewhere and sob. I can sob at home without having paid $50 to go to the movie theater.
Oh, remember, I mean, Marley and Me.
Oh, no. Mm-mm.
Yeah, no, you don't. And also, I don't think you'll cry in this movie, but people were like very obsessed with the book.
I kind of want to read the book. Maybe I can get it, like read it in a couple days.
You probably can. It's not very long.
Yeah. Okay.
I have a dilemma for you.
Ooh, go ahead. Tell me.
Okay, so this girl posted in a Facebook group.
Okay.
So she is posting looking for advice. And she's saying that her brother, who she loves, and her sister-in-law have been married for a couple of years. They've been trying to get pregnant.
Okay.
They haven't been able to get pregnant. And the sister-in-law is very much like, it's been like a year and a half. Like, we should go to a doctor. But like, they also got married in their early 20s. So they have like
plenty of time. And she's like, I've been tracking, and I guess the sister-in-law has been tracking her ovulation like religiously. Like, she is on it. Okay.
And so the girl posting in looking for advice is saying, you know, we're pretty close, me and my sister-in-law, and she's like kind of confided in me. Like, it's been hard because my brother, her husband, doesn't seem that concerned. Like, he's like, it'll happen when it happens. Like, don't worry about it. And she's kind of like, I'm ovulating really regularly. I get a regular period. I think it might be him. But small caveat that she doesn't know.
Who doesn't know? The sister-in-law?
The sister-in-law does not know.
Okay.
That the girl posting does know about her brother is that he got a girl pregnant when they were in high school.
Damn.
And she had the baby.
The girl had the baby.
The girl in high school had the baby. The family, like her family really like was like, we'll support you in whatever you do. But like the girl who had the baby like went to go live with a uncle somewhere or aunt.
So she like disappeared.
She like disappeared, had the baby, came back, kept it extremely under wraps. And so like they respected her wishes. No one knows. It's like this big family secret that she had a baby. He never even like saw the girl again.
So he had a kid.
He has a child out there somewhere.
Damn.
And so this girl who's like, I'm really close to my sister-in-law and I know this about my brother and I feel like he never told her. She obviously has no clue. And so she's like, I think it might be, I'm wondering if it might be him. Like, we should get his fertility tested. And this girl is like, I know he's thinking like, it ain't me.
What a sociopath.
So the dilemma, I think, is she's saying, I obviously want to talk to my brother about it first and say like, I think you should tell her, like, but I don't want to meddle in their relationship. Like, it's their marriage, but I think she deserves to know. And also, like, he has a kid out there somewhere. Like, it's not like I got a girl pregnant and then, like, she lost the pregnancy or whatever. Like, a human is out there who is your husband's child.
And who will come knocking with 23andMe.
Perhaps.
Or Ancestry or whatever their genetic testing of choice is.
So the dilemma is, would you tell or not tell? And let's say she goes to the brother and the brother's like, absolutely not. No. At what point do you say like, I have loyalty to you, but I also do as my sister-in-law?
Wow, that's a doozy.
Like, we're all siblings here.
We're all siblings. I think you go to him first for sure. And I don't think you can ever expressly tell your sister-in-law. But I think if you really were like, I'm not going to say anything, I think you go to your sister-in-law and be like, listen.
No, I was just going to say, in your situation, this is the perfect example. You guys have not tried to get pregnant yet, but when you do.
Oh, I thought you were talking about for me being the sister, and I was like, I don't really have any siblings.
No.
Yeah.
Let's say you try for like a year and you're like, not really happening, but like I've been tracking, everything seems really normal. I'm just like, not getting pregnant. I wonder if it might be him, you know, like low sperm count is so popular. And you're telling all this to your sister-in-law, Haley.
Yeah.
And she's like,
it ain't him, bitch.
It ain't him. Would you be like, tell me?
So it's interesting. Like, Haley and I are very close.
Right.
But her and Tyler are very, very close. So like if it came out that she did not tell me, I wouldn't be upset with her because I understand like she and Tyler are very, very close. That being said,
what about like girl power?
Well, no, what I was going to say is because just on its head, like Tyler and his sister Haley are very close. If they were not as close and she and I had the same relationship, I'd be like, bitch, we're all siblings here and we're way closer. I understand how she could feel really torn. So I think like if this girl's very close to her brother and very close to her sister-in-law, I don't think you can ever betray one to the other. But I think you say to your sister-in-law, something is up. I'm not going to betray my brother, but you need to ask a lot of fucking questions and you need to ask about his past and you need to ask.
That's saying enough, whatever you just said.
Exactly.
That's
enough. That's it.
But then you're basically telling her.
You're basically telling her, but you're not saying. But you say like, you need to go ask some really serious questions.
That's what you think?
100%. After you've gone to him and really, really,
so you go to him and you say, if you don't tell her, I will.
No, first it's like,
that's basically what you're saying.
No, first I say, tell her.
He says, no, does not need to come out. It's a whole nother life. I don't even ever think about that. I didn't even remember that.
Okay, well, I've reminded you. So now you have a month. And if in a month you haven't said something, I'm going to say, this is not fair. First of all, you're being a shitty husband. Like to have that sort of secret, even if they weren't trying to get pregnant, take all of that off the table.
But it's not even like it doesn't sound like it's like a top of mind thing in the family. It's like this like big like family secret from like high school a million years ago. It's so gone. It's not even like,
but it
thought about
gone.
With a 10-foot pole.
It isn't gone. And it's something that could always resurface and affect your partner.
Is that a quote from Illegitimate Child's Awareness Club?
Yes. Thank you. Yes. I even forgot. I forgot that I'm an illegitimate child. Thank you for reminding me.
You're like, they always tell us it's never gone. We're never gone.
No, we're never gone. And like medical history and like you have children now with this person and then, oh, surprise, they have another sibling.
Right.
Like that is the sort of shit that fucks kids up. Let's say it never comes out. They get pregnant. They have 2 kids of their own. Their kids are in middle school and one day someone comes knocking and is like, hi. That changes like the way your family's dynamic is forever.
Like, are you not worried that that's not going to come out at some point? Or like, but like, it's not even like, I mean, the girl he's not on the birth certificate and the girl put the baby up for adoption. Like,
it doesn't matter in today's day and age. Like you literally, it doesn't even have to be you
Your
doing
genes
23andMe.
are tied to this person.
Like, let's say she does it and this person contacts her and is like, hey, I think I'm your niece or nephew. Like, it's never going to stay hidden. And to be married to someone that you have such a secret from is fucking alarming. Like, what else are you capable of?
well, that feels.
No. If you woke up one day and someone was knocking at your door and they were like, hi, I'm Mike's child from when he was 16, you wouldn't be like, huh?
I'd be like, where are your parents? You're 10.
No,
15.
he would be 15, 14.
But then I would also be like, Mike, someone's at the door for you.
But do you know what I mean? Like, and Mike's like, oh yeah, like I did forget to mention that. Would you not be like, what?
I'd be like, forgot to mention
Like,
in that you had a lobotomy?
like would you not be, you were mad one time when Mike wasn't honest with you about the cleaning ladies.
No, I know. No, I would be so mad, especially like
I would be mad. They need a new word for mad. Like, I would be so mad.
I would burn this fucking house down.
Literally.
No, but also I think the other layer of it is that like this girl, it sounds like she's like
Really trying to get pregnant.
really trying to get pregnant and like thinking about like maybe I should track ovulation differently and like I'm going to take these multivitamins and whatever. And it's like, she's like, but I really think it's him. Like she's going down a whole rabbit hole that
Totally.
like that's the part that kind of sucks. It would be like, you let me think.
Yeah, you let me spiral.
Yeah.
When like she should be really exploring her options. The whole thing is like, you cannot trust anyone.
You cannot trust anybody.
Like, that is fucking nuts. And I would understand, but I would be so upset if it came out and Haley didn't tell me. I would be like, what?
I know you'd be like, excuse me, bitch.
What? But I would also understand that like she's close to her sibling. Like, if you had a secret,
If I had a secret.
if you had a crazy secret and it was something Mike needed to know.
I wish I had a crazy secret. It would just be like fun.
I don't want any secrets.
Maybe maybe it's like too much stress, but I don't have any, so I don't know what it feels like.
It would be too much stress, I think. If you had a crazy secret, I would feel, I'm so close to Mike, but I would feel like I can't betray you.
It's girl code.
But it's not even girl code. It's just like my loyalty would have to remain. So I would need to encourage Mike to ask the right questions to uncover himself.
You would turn me in?
I wouldn't turn you in. I would encourage.
Oh, sorry, Tyler. You'll never know shit.
You would never, like, if it was something he needed to know.
Like what? You're having an affair?
No, like medical. Like, I mean, yes, that, but I mean, like,
no, it's not something he needs to know. If you're having an affair, like you're going through some shit, you're having an affair, I would not be like, Tyler, ask some questions. I would be like, Jonna's not having an affair.
Oh my God, I would want you to. I want you to have just as much loyalty to both of us. Like you need, like, what?
No, I'm too ride or die.
No, that's not what's good for you sometimes.
Yeah, if you're having an affair with like magician, or something really random that's
yeah, a magician. No, I mean like
where it's obviously not going anywhere, you and a magician, then like I would talk to you about it first, but if it feels like it's going on a long time and like it's not ending, I would be like, okay, we have to do something together. Like we'll tell him together if you're afraid to do it alone, but I'm not going to be like, talk to Jonna.
Oh my God. No, wrong.
I've been in this situation
and I disagreed with you then.
And I was like, yeah, I love her significant other, but my loyalty is to my friend. And like, if I'm not going to, like drive you to your affair, but I'm not going to out you.
It's not outing. It's like when you love two people, like, I think specifically with us, like our little foursome, like I want you to have, like, it's what I always say. Like, if I'm like, if I die, you have to take care of Tyler and Ruby. Like,
yes, obviously. But in a situation like this, like, let's say you have an affair, you have like an emotional affair with someone.
Okay.
It goes on for like a few months and you tell me about it, obviously, because who can keep those secrets to themselves entirely?
Okay.
And you're like, it's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to go anywhere. And then you start like hooking up on work trips.
Ugh, I don't even like this hypothetical. Keep going.
You have like, a work trip once every other month or something. And you are hooking up with your emotional affair on a work trip. And then you're like, we hooked up again. Like, I don't know. I feel so bad because I love Tyler. Like, he's the love of my life. But like, there's something about this Ron guy.
Oh, Ron. Yeah, I hate him already.
And I'm like, okay, well, like, we need to figure it out because you can't keep cheating on Tyler. Like, and then if Tyler said to me, like, Jonna just seems like different, like, I don't know, like distant, I would be like, really?
You'd gaslight him?
Yeah.
No, this is wrong. If the same situation, if you were having an affair, I would, I'm a habitual bitch. Like, same exact advice. I'd give you a month. I'd be like, I'm here for you. You need to get to the bottom of why you're doing this. You need to stop and you need to come clean to Mike. And if after a month you weren't, I would be like, Rachel, look at your family. What are we going to do? You have to tell him.
And if I don't, you will.
No, but I would go to Mike and be like, Rachel's in crisis.
Okay, well, that's the difference. I'm a good friend and you're not as good.
No, I am. That's what's good for you.
No. Who are you to say?
You can't just let
Dr. Jonna, this is what's good for you. And I will tell.
Like, you can't.
I'm a locked box. I have a lot of secrets that you don't know.
Like what?
Things Ruby's told me.
Oh, my dog.
And I'll never tell.
Here's the thing.
No, I don't have any secrets, but I have been in that situation before where I've had to keep a secret, and
I understand what you're saying, and each situation is different. I'm saying this is what I would expect out of the four of us.
In the same scenario, though, if you had,
like, if one of our other friends had an affair that I'm not as close to their husbands, different scenario.
Yeah, goodbye to your husband.
I'm not that close. I'm not that invested. Like,
girls come first.
Family, I think, comes first, and
then when family comes first, then it's who's a girl.
No, no. What did Gloria Steinem come to your house in the middle of the night?
You're usually feminist Fifi.
I am feminist Fifi, but outside, like, my family is my family.
In church or in prison.
In church or in prison. I would want you to do that for me. Like, I would want you to be like, what the fuck are you doing?
I would say that to you, but I'm not going to go behind your back. I would say to you, what the fuck are you doing? Get your fucking ass together. I'm going to tell him if you don't. And then I'm not going to tell him.
Oh, well, we'll just have to agree to disagree.
Like, if you got pregnant in high school, had a baby, put it up for adoption, no one ever knew.
Yeah.
And you did not want anyone to ever know because it was like shame, shame, shame.
Shame game.
You're like, I'll never tell anyone. The baby's up for adoption. I don't think about that baby one bit ever. And you guys are trying to get pregnant and you're not getting pregnant at all. And Tyler's like, I really think you should go to a fertility specialist. Like, women have fertility issues. It's like not uncommon. Pushing you. And you're like, no, like, I think we're just like, we haven't hit it yet. And then he says to me, like, I don't know, like, will you talk to her and, see if she's open to it? Because, like, she just doesn't seem open to it. And I think it might just be that she would be embarrassed that we should go to fertility, which, like, it's not embarrassing at all. I'm not sitting there being like, let me calm your nerves here, Tyler. She's gotten pregnant before. I'm not sitting here.
Shame.
I'm thinking, yeah, I'll talk to her about fertility. And then I'll be like, I think Tyler might be onto us.
Shame. No, you shouldn't tell him, but you should say, like,
yes, I would say to you, I think Tyler might be onto us. Maybe you should tell him.
Or you should have encouraged me from the jump.
I was encouraging you and you didn't.
We're the only people I know who could get in a disagreement about a hypothetical situation.
Okay, I know I'm right.
No, you're not.
More things for people to weigh on. We'll start a poll.
We'll
have our social media start a poll because I don't know how.
Yeah, we need a poll. God, I'm exhausted. How do people live these sort of crazy scenarios? Like, I'm exhausted discussing it. Someone's living it.
Agreed.
Good luck. Important note, we are not recording next week.
Oh.
So we will see you guys in 2 weeks.
Yeah, my sister-in-law, who is not in any of the stories we've said at all, is getting married in 2 weeks. And so we're taking a little hiatus.
A little break, but we'll be back soon. Call you later.
Call you later.